Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tech Talk. This series is where entrepreneurs, influencers, and anyone willing to work for a better today meet to explore the ways in which we can change lives using technology. I'm your host, Nicole, co founder and director of projects here at Niritech. And our focus for season one is to talk to entrepreneurs who are implementing innovative software solutions. And we're off to a great start today with our guest, the one and only Monique Powell, founder and CEO of QuickPlate, Jamaica's first and fastest growing online food delivery service. Before she built QuickPlate, Monique spent years working in various managerial roles at some major corporations such as Digicel, Scotiabank, and even the Gleaner. She's been passionate about technology throughout her career, and because of her startup, many people in the pandemic era are experiencing convenience of ready-made meals without having to travel. uh, Quick Plate is developing the face of e-commerce in Jamaica. I know you're excited to hear about this innovation straight from the source. Welcome, Monique. Thank you so much for being here.
Uh, you're welcome, Nicole. My pleasure.
Awesome. Now, Monique, I first met you in Trinidad, but with Pitch It Caribbean. I was on the project team at the time, and I'm just so proud to see your journey. From pitching on that stage to know what you're able to achieve and accomplish, the sacrifice, the time, the energy. I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur and to be on a journey. So I just want to congratulate you for all the success, for the work that you're doing. I am so proud and I'm just amazed, what you're doing. So congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. We've come a long way. There's still a long way to go, but
There's still a long way to go. So, tell us about your journey because you've had such a very successful career before starting QuickPlate. So, why did you leave all that behind?
I think I've always had an interest in entrepreneurial things, entrepreneurial activities. So, like, even in my late teens, I was bringing down things from abroad and selling them back. And by the time I was 17 or 18, I had taught myself graphic design and I was going from door to door at small businesses, trying to convince them to order business cards and letterheads and whatnot from me. So it started early, and in the midst of all of that, I always knew that at some point in life, I would have wanted to go off and start my own business. I mean, at the time, I had no idea what I was going to be, but I knew that at some point that was what I wanted to do. And about 5 years ago, I thought it was the right time. I was ready for a change, and I took the plunge. Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess you had that itch, that I'm just waiting for the right time to make that move. So that's a great segue into my next question about how your professional background now help you to prepare in running quickly. How did all of that come together for you?
I think everything was perfectly aligned for me to start a business like this. So, what you find in a number of tech based or tech driven startups is that, as it relates to the founders or co founders, if there are multiple, you often have one person who has the skills to do the marketing and the sales generation. And then you have another person who is straight tech hardcore. But my career path took me deep into tech for the first, I'd say maybe 15 years or so. I was a web developer. And then I transitioned over into marketing, both mostly digital marketing, but also did a stint in general marketing, including mass media and so on. So I think that unique blend of tech skills and marketing skills came together well to put me into a place where I could launch a business like this.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And even just how you position the brand quality is very strong. Just going the site, the use of colors, I can definitely see the influence of that skill set coming out in just the brand itself. So you've started the company. Normally they tell us, once you're starting a new business or you have an idea, what problem are you trying to solve? So what led you to realize that Jamaicans needed an online food delivery service?
Well, it was something that was born out of a personal need. And a lot of people say that's one of the better ways to start a business when you're scratching a itch that you have because you're intimate with what the need is that you have and how best you would want it solved.
Yes.
And as somebody who I don't enjoy cooking, so that's the first thing. And then with the type of job I had, it would sometimes get demanding. So even if I did enjoy cooking, I wouldn't have had the time.
Yeah.
And what I found at the time was that there weren't there wasn't anything like QuickPlate at that time.
Hmm.
You know, ordering food for delivery was more or less pizza.
Hmm.
So yeah, sure. Some people had a arrangement with a one courier here or there that would send
Yeah.
them to buy some meals and come back. But there wasn't a streamlined and centralized platform where somebody could go browse a number of menus, place the order, and
Hmm.
know that they could count on it to be delivered in a reasonable time frame from a professional service. So I saw a wide open gap to bring something like that into the market, and I decided to go for it.
I have used QuickPlate when I lived on Shortwood Road in Kingston. Ordered food and watched the bike just tracking on my phone, and I really appreciated that, Monique, because at the time, I had an obsession with chilitos for some strange reason. I really loved it. So when I realized that you were carrying that brand, I had to buy chilitos on a Friday. So I've used the product and it's really good. In 3 easy steps, you can place your order. And for someone like me, that was super convenient. You can't really find that a lot. I also like the fact you have a wide range or a diverse group of restaurants represented. So it's not stuck in just your fast food. You can get a full meal or dinner or even Devon House delivered to your home. So I love it. All right, so let's move on. So your company have been around for 5 years, and in terms of numbers, how have you impacted your users? How has QuickPlate created impact?
So we to date we've served probably a little over 11,000 unique customers,
Mhm.
uh, and I think we serve a variety of needs. So, for instance, there was one customer who emailed us once to say he works abroad, lives abroad. His wife has been sick for some time, and
Wow,
it's QuickPlate that has allowed him to send her meals on a daily basis and
wow,
make sure that she doesn't have to cook and make sure that she's okay. you know.
wow.
So for it can be how we touch people's lives and address people's needs. It can be as simple as just satisfying a craving for Devon House one Sunday, but
Yeah,
also for some people it goes deeper.
deeper.
In terms of the convenience and the value that we bring to their lives, and that's something that it stands out to me.
And that is awesome. I love that. So we're in COVID lockdown. Everybody's experiencing this inconvenience of being locked up in the house, or now companies are going remote. So how has COVID really impacted your business and the overall user adoption of the software or the platform?
Yeah. Well, COVID has been a mixed bag for us, but I think the effect on the business has been one that has encouraged growth. So when I say mixed bag, the restricted curfews or the hours, that we were allowed to operate. in because of the restrictions kind of put uh, a damp on things somewhat, but we understood why it needed to be done. But at the same time, even with those restrictions around the times that we could operate, we still saw an increasing number of persons gravitating towards the platform. So you had people who probably wouldn't have given a service like QuickPlate a try before, or were probably apprehensive about e-commerce. But because more of it was happening now, and because a lot of these persons found themselves stuck at home or not wanting to go anywhere, it gave them a nudge to try out a service like this. So we definitely saw an increase in the number of persons that were coming on board and were using the platform.
Awesome. I can just imagine because as you mentioned, just also of need and necessity, and you are well positioned for this boost and awareness too. All right. So I know running a business is not easy,
Uh,
right?
no.
It
Yeah.
has a lot of challenges. It's cyclical. You have to really have your head on your body to continue through those difficult times. Have you experienced any setbacks running a tech-enabled business? And if so, how have you overcome these, or how did you mitigate these challenges?
Yeah, I mean, the setbacks have been many, and we don't even have enough time on this to get into all of them.
Yeah.
It's setbacks in terms of coming up with a working model. So we were pretty much bringing something to this space that had never been done in the way that we were doing it. So, sure, there had been a few courier services that had been centered around food delivery, but perhaps there were differences in their approach to the technology that they use. There were probably differences in approach to fleet management. So, in a lot of ways, what we were doing had never been done here. And what that meant was a lot of trial and error in the early stages, in the early couple of years. So there are a number of things that we tried that didn't work the way we wanted to. And, of course, with that sort of things come setbacks. Because, of course, everything you implement it with optimism
Yes.
it's gonna work well. And then when it doesn't, you have to rally back and say, okay, how do we fix this? How do we find something else, switch very quickly to something else that does work? And there was a lot of that in the early stages. And then, of course, typical small business struggles, especially when you're bootstrapping, which we were for the first few years. There are financial hurdles as well. So, a lot of it was whatever capital I could pull out of my savings, whatever I could get from credit cards that I had. And there were very, I'm not sure if it's changing now, but at the time, practically no financial institution was open to providing financing to businesses that were less than 2 years old. So you have to be very creative and just finding ways to still keep the business going, still keep things running the way they need to run on very limited resources. So that was a huge challenge as well. And there were others too, but I think the overall, what was consistent in managing all of those challenges was having a solution oriented approach to things. So, yes, things might not go well, and you might freak out for a minute or two, and then you say, all right, how are we going to fix this? And it also helped having a great team in place, and we're selective about who we bring on board as part of the quick play team. And I think having that approach and also having a team that understood what we're trying to bring to the market was very helpful in just addressing the issues as they popped up.
Ah, thank you for sharing that so much. I can relate to everything you're talking about, being a business owner myself, running our company, my husband and I. It has been a lot of sacrifices just to remain in business. And when you have a team and you have that responsibility, you have people depending on you, You have to really get up every day and bat. You have to go out there and fight. It's a daily battle, but because we love what we do, we continue to do it. And I love what you said about being solution oriented, because you're going to have problems, you're going to face challenges. At the end of the day, it's how do we solve this problem? And I love that approach. All right, so we're winding down. And so I want to just ask you what keeps you motivated?
Well, I at the core, I'm a builder of things. Even before QuickPlate, I had other projects that I had put out, not necessarily at this scale. There was a time I had a dating site. There was a time I had a kind of local travel review site. I enjoy building things and watching things come from nothing to something. And watching QuickPlate evolve is almost, in a sense, motivation enough for me. And then, what you come to realize as the business starts to grow is that it goes beyond you now. You're also now impacting people's lives, not just the customers, but also the lives of your team, your employees, your delivery contractors. And you're also now motivated to build something that can positively impact the lives of people who interact with the business, regardless of what capacity. So I think one, just satisfying my personal need to build things and watch them grow and watch them evolve, and also embracing the responsibility that something like this brings, building out a business and growing a business brings.
Yes, and I know sometimes as business owners, it's not always sunny days. Some days we're really down and out.
Yeah, yeah.
Money have so much support in the virtual space. You don't know it, but it's there. So
Thank you so much.
continue doing the great work that you're doing, and we're rooting for you. We're so proud of what you have accomplished and what you have achieved. So, how can our viewers support you, and what areas do you serve?
So in terms of geographical areas, we're in both Kingston and Montego Bay. Uh, we have combined, we have over 100 partner merchants slash restaurants. So there's good variety. And you can go to our website at myquickplate.com to place your orders. Or you can go to our newly launched app, and this app is available for both Android devices and iOS or Apple devices. So you can download the app and browse around and place your orders through that as well. And we're always happy to serve new customers, and looking forward to those who will come on board and check us out and see what we're about.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you so much for having so much for being on our program. I just feel like you're having me. I don't know why, but finding out. But
It's
have a wonderful day. I know you have to go back and work or deal with things. So I don't want to keep up too much of your time. But thank you so much for being here and sharing your awesome story and the impact that QuickPlate is making in Jamaica.
no problem at all, Nicole, and all the best.
Thank you. This was a great talk. Thank you for joining us and being here to listen to this awesome story, to listen to Monique's journey and how she's changing lives with her company and the impact she's making. We just heard so much valuable lessons, and you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to take risk to be an innovator. Like Monique, you can expect to face some special challenges trying to build a company, especially if it's a company that's technology based, right? And but if you persist, there is a possibility that you achieve extraordinary things for yourself and others. So as we are going out, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to our channel. Niritech, as a software company, we develop and maintain custom digital solutions for businesses and corporate organizations. If you have an idea for an online platform or mobile app, complete the form in the description below and we'll contact you to discuss further. You can reach out to us on all our socials at We Are Niritech. You can send us an email. All the information is in the description below. I am Nicole Crawford Thompson. Take care.